Hello, people on the internet watching videos that have to do with cars. Welcome to this. My 1974 RA21 Toyota Celica ST, powered by a 2UZ VVTi V8 out of my dad's old 2005 Toyota Tundra. In the previous video, I was in the painstaking process of trying to get a base map file created on the ECU for this engine to make it run properly. However, all right, powering on. I was running into a little bit of difficulties. Currently, I had Jimmy Oakes remoting in from Connecticut to my ECU to try to figure out how to calibrate the settings for my cam trigger to get this timing set on the engine correctly. What's causing the issue is we already did set base time and got the engine to run and idle successfully. However, after you shut it off, it loses the timing sync when you go to start it back up again, and you have to reset the base time. You want me to measure the yellow?
Yes.
Yeah, 4.09. Minimum voltage now for the crank trigger. Is it still 1.5 or 1.4 or whatever it was?
Yeah, no, it has a strong enough signal now. Like that sensor was weak.
Okay, good.
The problem is it's not doing anything with the signal. That's the only problem.
This right here is the factory Toyota cam position sensor from a 2UZ VVTi. You'll notice that it has 3 wires, which typically indicates that this is a Hall effect sensor. If this had 2 wires, it would be a reluctor, which the 2 VVTi cam sensors and the crank position sensor are. However, with this style of sensor, you have a signal for the ECU, a ground, and then a 5-volt reference coming from the ECU, which is how I had this thing wired up, because 3 wires, you'd expect it would be a Hall effect sensor. The problem is the engine keeps losing time every single time you shut it off, because this is not configured properly in the software, nor can it be configured properly in the soft. I'm not a tuner, but that's where we're at.
Sorry for the back and forth.
Oh, that's fine. I'd literally be screwed if you weren't helping me right now, because there's nobody. I have no one else to do this. Does it have anything to do with the fact that I have more aggressive cams in it than the factory?
No, I shouldn't care. No, because this is just this is the length at which there's like a little tab that goes past the sensor, and it just shows that each tab that goes past the sensor has a different length.
Oh.
So we have to tell the ECU that the homing is this length, right? So give this a shot.
Was the Lambda working after I switched those 2 wires, or?
No.
It wasn't still? What the f is a Thundercat?
Thundercat, like the old TV show?
It's on there on the list of engines to select from.
Oh, that might be like a side-by-side.
He said like the old TV show.
I was gonna say, out of all the people, you would know what Thundercat is.
I do know what Thundercats are. So yesterday, I removed the 5-volt source for that cam sensor, and tried testing it going to an ECU ground. So essentially this thing would just have 2 grounds and then the signal to the ECU. But I don't think that will work because this is a Hall effect optical sensor and not a reluctor. It shouldn't function that way. I found another YouTube channel that does a lot of stuff with these UZ engines, and from the video I saw, the guy was saying that what you can do is program this VVTi cam sensor on the left bank to dual function as the home cam sensor and also for the VVTi function, and then have the right bank VVTi cam sensor just do the VVTi function. Problem is, I'm not an engineer, and it takes a lot longer than 2 or 3 days of reading on the internet and instruction manuals to learn how to tune an engine properly. And I'm at the mercy of other people right now who are also very busy. I did find a slight issue while this thing was running yesterday. The temp sensor is leaking out of the threads right here, so I gotta put some sealant on that. This is gonna make a massive mess. Please don't make a mess. No, it didn't make a mess. Weird, and there is a crush washer on it. Apparently that wasn't enough. Now it should be. Came out a little bit more aggressive than I thought it was going to. Something else I might as well take care of. That has to be done before it's drivable. This is the original upper radiator core support, and it now requires modification. I wonder if that'll actually fit if I cut the top part off. This will need to be powder coated, so it makes sense to get this knocked out now. Wow, these are really brittle. There's probably no saving this thing. You see the radiator used to be mounted with little rubber bushings. Yeah, perfect. And this revision gained me some clearance for sure. So with that thing cut into basically a flat strap, it's really not gonna do anything structurally to help. So I got plenty of room in front of the radiator right there where that should run. That means, whilst I'm in the mode of fabricating, this doesn't work on a 2UZ. It's for a Lexus LS 400. It almost looks like it's brazed, like it's made out of copper. Why won't this just come off? Don't worry, I'm not adding to the list. This is just little things that I have to take care of. It's really stressful because there's literally hundreds of thousands of you watching this right now in anticipation for this project to be finished. And you would think that I'm like some kind of big professional organization and I have all kinds of contacts. But I lucked out that Jim Yokes was willing to help me tune this thing, and that he's also an engineer and a distributor for Link ECUs, so he's the best person for this. So I just got off an email with one of the associates from Link, the company that makes this ECU, and they were saying the issue that I'm having is because I'm using the trigger settings for a 1UZ V8, which is similar to that engine, but I should be using it for the 2GR V6 because it has the same style cam trigger as the 2UZ V8, whereas the 1UZ is different. And being that the 2UZ V8 is such an uncommon engine to swap into things, there really isn't a lot of data on this. So luckily Toyotas are kind of like Legos. Hey, let me bring you closer. Bear with me, I'm one human doing the job of about 63 people right now. I'm my own videographer, tuner, mechanic. What the hell am I looking at? How do I set this up? Ah, there we go. So I want to use Toyota 2GR. 2GR. Yes. It is an optical Hall sensor, 3-wire. The pull-up is set on default and on and trig to edge on falling. I'm gonna leave that for now because I don't know what will happen if I change it. However, what I do know is it's irritating to have to try to start this thing by sticking a power probe in the back of the starter relay. So I need to fix this interlock issue once and for all. Whilst I'm under the dash, this is a brand new clevis for the brake. Ouch. You ever wonder where the saying, "it's going swimmingly" came from? While I'm under the dash, that's what's on my mind. I mean, it's pretty good right there. That's a solid functioning brake pedal. Seatbelt interlock. I can't believe that that was actually a thing for 1 year. A seatbelt interlock. That is the most ridiculous thing. Let's go straight to the source. All right, is this the right wire? Yes. Now I could film what I'm about to do, or I could not. because I could implement an extra security feature that this car didn't have before. An hour of struggling under the dash later. Oh, let's see if I have continuity to the starter relay from the key. Yeah! That is continuity between the starter relay and the key. Let's see, did my wiring work? Give it a little bump. Yeah! All right. I wonder if what I did without making any changes to anything else will allow this thing to just start. No. Well, that's done. That was the last red starred item.
Shrouded in secrecy for years, the stealth bomber will...
So next day, I don't really know how to film this. It takes years to learn how to tune a car, and I don't have years to do that. As you'll see here at the top, it's flashing some codes. These are essentially like check engine lights. So my engine coolant temp sensor is faulting. I know it's a factory Toyota sensor that I put in there. They do have a help desk that I can email back and forth to try to get advice on how to configure this, and they have been helpful thus far. Even though I have tested my wiring numerous times, the engine runs, it still does not mean that I am impervious to f***ing something up. That pin is a little bit further in from where it should be. Is it not locking in? You know what, I'm gonna replace it. I'm not even gonna waste my time, I'm gonna redo it. So I stabbed this ground twice. It had continuity to ground the first time, and the second time it didn't. See what it reads? Jeez. Come on, $200 laptop. Hey! ECT, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, it did work when the car was running, but it was not when it was off. Ground? 0.007. Yeah, I got 5-volt reference. I know this sounds a little silly, but I'm gonna reroute this ground. 0.002. Oh, that's perfect. This is one of 3 ground straps I have on the engine, and I had this one going down here, but I moved it up to this spot, which is the ground for the ECU harness itself. I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna try something. I have a hunch that the wiring schematic that I got off of the Ashcroft website is for a different sensor. I'm basing this just off of the other plugs of this style I have wired in the past, in that I don't think the ground is supposed to be in the center. I think it's supposed to be off to the side. Let's see if this makes a difference. Let's try this. Okay, come on, you slow laptop. Oil pressure, minimum volt, 0.5. 0.5! It worked! 0.5 volts. The minimum value when the engine is not running should be 0.5. That means there's no oil pressure. That is now correct. I set my error value at 0.49, so it's just barely below that off threshold, so I don't get the check engine light when the engine turns off. Now I just got the drive-by-wire stuff. You can see I currently have no fault errors until I touch my throttle pedal, and then I'm gonna get a bunch. Watch the lower right corner of your screen as I press the throttle pedal. And there's all the volts. And volt 6 above high value. I think I might be able to figure that one out. So I've been going back and forth via email with some of Link's chat support people. And I have to say they're very nice and they're very patient and helpful. I even called up their phone number hotline and spoke to someone as well. Was also extremely patient and very helpful. I'm sure they deal with idiots all the time like myself. And keep in mind, this is not a sponsored video. I bought the ECU that is in this car. They didn't sponsor anything. So one of the gentlemen on the email said that I should check the high voltage error value and make sure it is within the correct parameters for what I set the maximum wide open throttle at. Open, 4.92, and the error is set at 4.95. So now if you look up here, my error value is set at 4.95, which I think is the normal operating range, I would have to presume on a 5-volt reference. So watch my A&N volt 6 sub source voltage. I'm gonna go wide open throttle. Let's see what this does. 4.97. So I'm gonna change that. I don't know, 4.99. We'll do 5 too. Save, store to ECU, clear faults. My check engine lights are gone. I gotta press the throttle pedal. Sorry, this is really awkward to try to do. All right, I'm gonna press my throttle pedal and see what turns red. Ready? No errors! Yeah! I fixed it! I had 9 when I started this and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I know before I go any further, I need to have a fuel pressure gauge on this regulator during the tuning process. There can be no guessing. Luckily, I still have this one that I used for the oil pressure when I was setting this car up. I really don't want to make a mess of fuel all over the place. But no fuel's coming out of it yet, so there's definitely still pressure on there. It stinks like gas. I think the pressure is relieved. Gauge. Fuel pressure gauge hooked up. I'll do it one more time. What do we got? It looks like it's not quite hitting 3 bar yet still. According to the factory tech data I read, this thing should have 3 bar of fuel pressure, 43.5 PSI from the factory. So I'm under. I did turn it down when Jimmy and I were trying to figure out the cam sync thing. Let's see if that helps. And prime. Well, my gauge didn't stay put, so that defeated the purpose of recording it. All right, we'll go for around 3 since that thing didn't stay put and hopefully it doesn't fall this time. I put some wrinkles back in my brain and faced the gauge facing me this time, so we'll see. I can actually watch it myself. Oh yeah, it's perfect. That is right on the money, 3 bar. Well, fuel pressure is now good. ECU has no faults. It should, in theory, be 100% ready to be tuned, to be continued. It's been 3 years now since I finished up the standalone ECU in the MR2, and while that is drivable and has a base map, I still have not gotten that car final tuned yet with the flex fuel and stuff because I have no local tuners remotely close to where I live. And tuning a car is not something you want just anyone to do because that's how you end up with a blown motor. So the next video I do on this car, I have work I can do regardless. So I'm just gonna keep chopping at it until I physically have nothing left to do. I'm at your guys' mercy right now. I'm reaching out to you, the viewers. I need help. I need to find a really top-notch spaceship fabricator level tuner that knows UZ engines in and out and also knows Link software in and out to give this thing a proper tune, and the MR2. So yeah, I need your guys' help. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.